Hi everybody, so I'm going to do the controversial parenting tag today. So there are 13 topics and I'm just going to get right into it because AJ is crazy today. The first one is pro-life versus pro-choice. I am pro-choice. I have always been pro-choice, and even after I had AJ and went through pregnancy and labour and all that sort of stuff, and had some really sort of tough times in the beginning of my parenthood life, I'm still pro-choice. There are just certain situations where the mother involved, it's just not right for her to have the child. Whether that be because the child was conceived out of sexual assault, or whether there is some kind of condition with the baby that means that it will not survive outside of the womb, or whatever sort of situation. I don't think there's anything wrong with the people that do decide that abortion is right for them. Well, not right for them, but I guess the best option out of whatever other options there are for them regarding whatever situation they're involved in. I personally don't think I could do it, but I certainly hope that I wouldn't have to, you know, if any sort of situation arose. But yeah. Number 2 is baby wearing. Love baby wearing. I wish I'd done it more with AJ than I did, but I have a feeling that when I have the next child, I'll be doing a lot of baby wearing, because it's just going to be easier, really, to get things done while baby wearing, and it also, you know, keeps the baby close and he's all comforted and things. So, number 3, circumcision. I don't really believe in it at all. I don't see the point of it unless it's a medical thing, like unless there is something wrong with the foreskin that it needs removing or whatever. As cosmetically, I don't think it's necessary for a parent or a doctor to decide that that is what will happen to this little baby. I firmly believe it is up to the male person who owns the penis to decide what they want to do with it. AJ is not circumcised. None of our children, and none of our boys will ever be circumcised if we have more boys. It is up to them if they want to do it later in their life, but as their mother and my husband as their father, it's not up to us, it's not our decision, it's not our penis. Number 4, adoption. All for adoption, if that's right for the people involved. My auntie's actually adopted, and her birth mother was a teen mum in the 60s. So I think her birth mother was like 16 or 17. So my grandparents adopted her when she was like a week old, and yeah, I love my auntie, she's awesome. So I think that it can be a good thing if the situation is, depending on the situation, you know, for the people. So I think it's really brave for people who are selfless enough to realise and, you know that, okay, I can't provide for this child what someone else could, and, you know, this child deserves, you know, all that they can have, and I can't do that for them right now. I think it would be selfish of me just to have the baby just because, or whatever. I don't know. But I think that just shows how much the child is loved, that, you know, they want them to have the best life possible. So, yeah. Number 5, I don't like baby piercing. I don't like seeing babies with piercings. I really don't. I don't understand it. Really don't understand it. But, I mean, to each their own. Personally, I'm not going to touch my children's ears or any part of their body with piercings. That's up to them to decide when they're old enough. I got my first lot of ear piercings when I was 10. My second lot when I was 12. My sister has a lot of piercings, but she started getting those when she was like 16. So, yeah, I think it really is up to the person. It's not up to the parent. Number 6, breast milk versus formula. I am all for breastfeeding, but I know that there are reasons why a mother can't breastfeed or chooses not to breastfeed, and that's fine, you know. It's not, to me, it doesn't really, like, I don't think it doesn't make the parent a bad parent if they can't breastfeed or choose not to breastfeed, and it doesn't make the child any less of a child if they're not a breastfed child. I mean, I'm all for, you know, helping women who are helping up friends who are starting out breastfeeding and things, you know, and I certainly feel very lucky and blessed that I was able to breastfeed AJ, and I certainly hope that I am able to breastfeed any future children. So, yeah, but I don't think one is better than the other for everybody, you know, it's not for everybody. Number 7, spanking. I'm against spanking. I have never wanted to spank my children, and I never will. It is illegal here in New Zealand. It was made illegal a few years ago. As a country, we have like one of the worst child abuse death rates in the world, and it's shocking and it's disgusting, and yeah, I've never wanted to spank. I was a spanked child myself. I was only spanked by my father, and even then it was not an effective form of discipline. Honestly, I think it's just a quick reactive one, that you get the quick reaction from the child, like, oh my god, you know, I'm never doing that again, sort of thing. They still don't know why they shouldn't. All they know is that if I do it again, I'm going to get hit. They don't know that, okay, if I touch the stove again, I'm going to burn my hands, like, and it's going to hurt. They don't know that we're trying, you know, they don't know that the parents are trying to keep them safe. All they know is the parent just hit them for doing, or for almost touching the stove, you know. I don't think it's effective. I don't think it's necessary. I really don't. I think, yeah, I really don't think it's necessary. Number 8, co-sleeping. All for people who want to co-sleep. It didn't work for us, but that's okay. Yeah, like, I think, yeah, anyone who wants to co-sleep should do it, you know. If it's going to work for them and work for their situation, then go for it. I mean, I think as parents, and especially as mothers, we have very instinctive about things. I find myself to be very instinctive about things regarding AJ, and, you know, if something's going to work for him or not. and I was very instinctive about co-sleeping for us. I tried it for a good week and it just did not work. So, but that's okay. You know, anybody who co-sleeps, if it works for them, makes life easier, then go for it. Number 9, home versus public versus private versus... I personally think public school is the best. And I say that I went to public school. I don't see anything wrong with public school. The private schools here are very closed off, very private. Only the rich of the rich can really afford to go. And I don't think the education really is, or I would hope that it's not any better in that public school children are getting less of an education than private school. I think private schools, I think it's more the reputation that gets people. The reputation that, oh, they went to that school, not the fact that, oh, they went to this public school and they got really good grades. You know what I mean? I'd rather my children go to a public school and get the best education they could there and get really good grades there, you know, and they be judged on that, not on the fact that, oh, they didn't go to this school or whatever. I don't think I could homeschool. I just don't think that would be right for our situation, our family. But any parent who homeschools, I think that's great. You know, I don't see anything wrong with homeschooling. I don't see anything wrong with public schooling. I'm a little bit ha on private schooling. And as far as charter schooling, I don't really know enough about it to speak on it really. Number 10, vaccination. We are fully vaccinated on schedule. I don't think I could not risk not vaccinating. Does that make sense? I don't think I could risk not vaccinating. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. I know that our vaccinations we get here are different than, you know, those in the US and Canada and Australia and everywhere else. But AJ has not had any reactions so far, and I'm really thankful for that. But it was a big debate with my husband and I about, you know, vaccinating and everything. But I think at this point I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'm assuming this means like putting them on, you know, like ADD drugs and all that sort of stuff. I mean, if my kid gets sick and he needs antibiotics, well then that's, you know, I'll give him antibiotics. But as far as going into a doctor and saying, oh, my 2-year-old just runs around crazy and he doesn't concentrate on anything, and then the doctor's going, he's got ADD, give him these. No, I'm not. I don't think that's necessary at all. I think there are many other avenues you could look at first before medication. I think providing medication in pill form and thing, I think that should be a last resort for children in situations with, you know, ADD and what other ones are there? I had a few in my head that go now. With that sort of thing, unless it's, you know, unless the doctor says this is really severe or whatever. But I don't think it's necessary to start. I don't see why parents sometimes get, not all parents, some parents, you know, I don't know whether they think their kid is supposed to be a perfect little angel or something and play quietly and listen to everything they say. Kids are not like that. Their brains are not developed to do that yet. So they're not going to be perfect little angels. They are going to run riot, and it is up to us to help teach them how to manage their behaviour in certain situations and stuff. So I don't think putting them on medication is going to help in the long run, because they're still not going to know how to manage themselves, and you know what tools would they have if they just got put on medication. They wouldn't know how to manage it themselves, you know. Number 12, cloth versus disposable diapers. I use disposables. I never really was interested in using cloth diapers. I'm really like neutral about that. I use disposables because that's what works for us. And if you use cloth, then cool. Whatever works for you. Number 13, the cry it out method. I wouldn't say that I've used it, in that, well, I guess when I was trying to help AJ get to sleep on his own, yes, he would cry. Put him in bed and he would cry, but I did a technique where he would cry for, I think it was 3 minutes, and I would go in and soothe him, and then if he started crying again after I left, I would leave it 4 minutes, and then I would go in, and it never got past leaving him for 6 minutes to cry. Never got past that when I was sleep training him. So yeah, and he goes to bed very readily. No grizzles or anything these days. So cry it out method, I don't think it's detrimental at all. I really don't. I don't think it's absolutely horrible. Honestly, it really is what works for you. Like, it depends on the child's personality as well, and you know, whether they're very fussy or, you know, they've got other things going on. And it depends on you and your household as well, and how everybody's feeling and coping and all that sort of stuff. So, to each their own. I guess you could say I have semi-practiced it, I guess. So, yeah, and I would do it again. If it looked like the next baby was similar to AJ or whatever in the way he or she went to sleep and things. So yeah, that's that. That was the last one. Hopefully this has been good. Remember, this is just my opinions and my perceptions on these. Everybody else is going to be completely different, so there's no need to attack anybody for their opinions. It's just opinions, and these topics, some are very controversial. So respect that everybody has their own opinion, and it may not be the same as yours, but doesn't mean that they're wrong or you're wrong. It doesn't mean that you're right or they're right. So that's my little disclaimer. Okay, so I will talk to you guys later. Bye.